In today's video, we're going to talk about everything that you need to know about living in the city with everything under the sun, and that's Coral Springs, Florida. So we're going to jump right into the map, kind of go over where Coral Springs is at, and everything else that you need to know about living in Coral Springs, Florida. Before we get started though, all I ask is that if you want to know more about eating, sleeping, living, playing, and just being in South Florida and Florida in general, that you hit the like and subscribe button because we're putting videos out like this every single week. We have people reaching out via phone call, text, email every single day, and we love it. Just helping them not only move to Florida, but just make their move even easier. So if that's you, or you even have a question about anything to do with Florida, please reach out and we're happy to help in any way that we can. All right, so let's first start off, where in the world is Coral Springs? So Coral Springs is in South Florida and it's in Broward County, all the way on the west side of Broward County right here. So it's just south of Parkland, north of 595, Tamarack Sunrise, things like that. One of the nice things about living in Coral Springs is the proximity to everything. So it might look like it's kind of far, but it's not. So let's zoom in a little bit. So as you can see, it's just west of Pompano, Lighthouse Point, and Deerfield area. So those are your closest beaches. And this road right here, 814, is actually Atlantic Boulevard. So you can take this completely out east directly, and it'll drop you right off at the beach at Pompano Beach, which is really nice. Another thing that you can do is you can hop on the Sawgrass. So this is the Sawgrass, runs all the way down until you hit 75 in the junction with 595, and it also runs north, kind of bends around, heads out east. Then you're going to run into the Turnpike and 95 if you're trying to go north. Those are probably the two quickest ways, and Coral Springs is pretty much dead center in the middle of the Sawgrass. You can either hop on up north or you can hop on out west, which is really nice. So in terms of proximity to other major cities, let's zoom out a little bit here. Boca up north, you're probably about a 30-minute drive to Boca, so you'll hop on the Sawgrass, head out east, and you can either take the Turnpike or 95. Usually the Turnpike's quicker, and let's say you want to go to the mall. So you'll hop on the Turnpike, get off on Glades, and it just makes it a little bit easier to get out here to the mall. Another thing that you might want to go visit is like that of Fort Lauderdale. So going to Fort Lauderdale, probably the quickest way is to hop on the Sawgrass down to 595, and it'll drop you right off in Fort Lauderdale. It's also about a 30-minute drive, depending on traffic, obviously. And then in terms of going to like West Palm in Miami, so West Palm is about an hour to an hour and 15-minute drive, I would say. Going down to Miami is actually a little bit quicker because Coral Springs is right here. Getting down to like downtown Miami or going to Wynwood or just trying to hit a Heat game, probably looking at about an hour without traffic, that is. So not too bad, honestly. All right, so now let's talk about the population of Coral Springs. So Coral Springs has 132,000 people living in it. And for a city about that size, it doesn't really feel like it. I'm going to be honest with you, as you drive around and things and just are out and about doing a lot of stuff, it's not as crowded as that of a lot of those cities out east. So like Pompano, Boca, Oakland Park's not too bad, Willow Manors isn't too bad, Fort Lauderdale, and then when you get into like Miami-Dade County, like Hollandale, Aventura, North Miami, Miami Beach, all that, that's super crowded. But Coral Springs isn't bad right now. I mean, with all those people living there, you wouldn't really realize it at the same time. In terms of the real estate market in Coral Springs, the median sales price is $557,000, but they do go all the way up to $2 million. And there's a nice mix of everything from 55 plus condos all the way up to larger homes with a little bit more land. It is more suburban for the most part. You're going to get a decent sized yard. You're not going to get an acre or 2 acres in Coral Springs. That's just how it is. But on the flip side, you are right near everything, and like there's a ton of stuff to do. So a couple of like the best things to do are, number one, the ice den. You can ask my 13-year-old brother. He loves going to the ice den. That's his spot. But there's other people who go there. Obviously, it's not just a bunch of kids. If you're looking for something to eat, an awesome place to go check out on Sample. One of the best Indian restaurants in the entire United States is the Run's Indian Kitchen. Hands down, best Indian food that you're going to eat in South Florida. You have to go and try it. On top of that, Mullins Park is also great. Tons of football fields, basketball courts. If you're just trying to get outside and play sports, I mean, there's always a game going on. There's always a pickup game. You can always get in on something. On top of that, you have the Coral Springs Aquatic Complex if you like going swimming or just want to get a workout in. They also have a great gym, and it's a lot cheaper and less busy than LA Fitness, but you didn't hear that from me. We also have great golf courses. I'm honestly not a huge golfer, but we do have 3 to 4 awesome courses, Eagle Trace probably being the big one that a lot of people do go to. And then at the end of Atlantic, there's a Sawgrass trailhead, so you can head out here. A lot of people come out to watch the sunset. because you get the Everglades, there's no buildings, nothing. It's actually really pretty. But actually during the day and also at night, you can go for a bike ride or a walk out there, and it's peaceful, and it's just a nice way to get away from other things. On top of that, Coral Springs does have a mall at the Coral Square Mall. And then as you head north and you're getting towards like the Parkland area, recently a new Costco was built, so everyone and their mom's going to that. That's absolutely packed. And then over here, as you can see, like the Seminole Casino, Coconut Creek, that's like the cutoff between Coconut Creek and Coral Springs. But there is a casino, so if you like gambling and doing things like that, it's literally right there. It's not even like, if you're in the dead center of Coral Springs, maybe 10, 15-minute drive. So not bad at all. Now when it comes to real estate and what's the most expensive and what's the most affordable and what's the best neighborhood, that really all depends on what you're looking for. So in terms of the most expensive, we're looking at the Eagle Trace neighborhood, which is right here off pretty much in between south of Royal Palm and north of Atlantic. And it is a golf course community, and they have everything within that community. So they have condos, townhomes, single family homes, and right now the median sales price is $895,000 in Eagle Trace, but they do go all the way up to $1.7 million. And then if you're looking for something a little bit more affordable, the most affordable neighborhood right now in Coral Springs is Village Green. So Village Green is mostly condos, and it's just north of Sample right here. So in terms of where you're at, we'll back out a little bit as you can see. So we're right off of Sample and University. You can quick access to the Sawgrass. You can still head out east or west. But in terms of the price point in Village Green, the median sold price is $474,000. So a lot more affordable than that of Eagle Trace. But some homes do go all the way up to $1.4 million because there are some single family homes in there as well. But for the most part, a lot of them are condos. In terms of other great areas, a lot of people love the North Springs area just because it is so close to that of Parkland, and Parkland's highly sought after, but Parkland is a little bit pricier. And you also do get in the same district for zoning for schools, which a lot of people do like the schools in Parkland. Some other great areas in Coral Springs are right around the mall. So people love, there's great neighborhoods in like the Maplewood, Glen Oaks, Oakwood, Shadowwood. These are all excellent neighborhoods, Ramblewood. So pretty much if you drew a big square coming up Royal Palm, all the way down to probably about Southgate to Stranahan River, across, and then back up Coral Springs Drive. That's where a bulk of the people live, and this is where the bulk of the shopping and dining are. So one thing that we didn't hit on yet is pretty much where everything's at. So in terms of restaurant, shopping, dining, it pretty much starts on Atlantic with the mall, on University, and kind of just works its way north. And then you get into like one of the big areas for, it's not necessarily huge, but food-wise, everyone goes to the Walk. So that's where pretty much all the restaurants are. You're pretty much looking at Sample to Atlantic on University for all your food options. So that's pretty much the bulk of where people want to live. So now let's kind of dive into what are some of these homes and what are these options looking like. So now we're looking at what some of the homes are like here in the Coral Springs area. So this is the first one. This is the most affordable option right now in Coral Springs. It is $159,000, but it is a 55 plus community. So that being said, one resident has to be 55 plus and it has to be their primary residence. So like a person like myself couldn't buy it and live there by myself. I know it kind of makes it frustrating, but that's how this one is. And it's a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom, 900 square feet, but it's not a bad price and it's a great area. Just kind of giving you an idea of what everything that they're asking for. We'll go through some of the pictures as well. And living in a lot of these buildings, this is a high-rise one. A lot of the 55 plus ones are usually low-rise or mid-rise buildings, not really anything more than maybe 15 stories. You're not going to see a whole lot of super high-rise condos for 55 plus. So that's just an idea of this one. Now we're going to get into kind of our medium price point. So this one's $579,000. It is a single-family house. Right here in the heart of Coral Springs, 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and it kind of gives you an idea of what these homes are looking like. You do get a 1-car garage, which is really nice, and just kind of gives you sort of a baseline for what your money could get here in Coral Springs. So as we click through, maybe if there weren't 1,000 pictures of the front, but as you can see, nice vaulted ceilings, very white, bright, and open, so more updated and modern. We have everything from updated and modern to ranch style to a little bit more fixer-uppers. So that's the nice thing about Coral Springs. There's everything and everything under the sun, like they said. And then in terms of our most expensive, so this is the most expensive home right now, $1.6 million. So this was in that Eagle Trace community that we mentioned earlier. It is 5 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms. It is massive, 4,000 square feet. So I'll kind of just walk you through that and show you kind of what that lifestyle is like in Eagle Trace. And if you guys want to know more about Eagle Trace or what it's like living in there, I can also make a video about that. So let me know down in the comments below. But let's go ahead and check this house out real quick. So as you can see, a huge driveway, 2-car garage, opens up into a large and expansive family room with the spiral staircase, nice marble floors, fireplace. Like, this is luxury right here, and this is what a lot of the homes in Eagle Trace are like. Not to say there aren't some that are a little bit more fixer-uppers, but for the most part, a lot of them are like this, and they're large and expansive homes. So that's just kind of give you an idea of what's out there. So that's pretty much everything that you need to know about living in this Coral Springs area or just living in Coral Springs in general. But if there's anything that I didn't cover about Coral Springs, South Florida, or Florida in general, please let me know in the comments down below, and I'll be sure to get back to you or even make a video about it.